How's it guys, and welcome back to another episode of BWS. In today's video, I'm going to run you guys through our comp at Rest of Winter. So this is like a little recap and competition video just to take you guys through all the processes, baits, rods, spots, and reason why we fished these specific baits. Stick with us and stay tuned, and I hope that you guys enjoy this episode. First spot was actually a rocky bank. I throw jerk baits on that bank specifically just to get a reaction bite. This jerk bait specifically is the Berkley Stunna 112+1 in a stealth shad. This is actually their deep diving jerk bait, and this was a really good bait for the morning. And as you guys can see, I've caught 3 on the specific bait, so we're still busy fishing that bank. And we actually pull up to a little reed patch that's got a little bit of shade, and I throw that Berkley Stunna right into that shade pocket, and bang, I actually caught a fish. It was actually a pretty decent fish. I would reckon about a 800 grammer. Yeah, it put 4 fish into our boat. Okay, rod that I actually use for my jerkbait setup, it's actually a 7-foot medium action rod with a fast tip. The reel 8:1 gear ratio, and the line that I use on here is 12-pound fluorocarbon leader. Fluorocarbon leader is key because it sinks, and the lighter diameter you go, the deeper your bait gets. Okay, after fishing that jerkbait, I moved on, and the jerkbait bite kind of died for me. So what I did was I actually picked up my Senko rod, and I started throwing around that black Berkley General. This is the 5-inch. This thing was key for a couple of fish, but I didn't really get too lucky on it. How I actually fished this Berkley General is on a 7-foot medium heavy rod with a fast tip. The reel, I actually fish a fast gear ratio reel. This is an 8:2:1 gear ratio, and it is key to have fluorocarbon line on here. I actually am fishing 12-pound. Reason for that is just pitching it outside the reed points, and that's how I was getting bits on this. I didn't get many bites. So then me and James, we actually hit all the points that we could find on that specific bank, and we literally just started flipping the reeds, finding little open pockets, casting at the reed points. I specifically was throwing that Berkley Creature Hawg. I was throwing the black one. What I realized at the time, and I actually saw James, he got quite a few bites on a natural colored bait, and so I switched over to this green pumpkin party. And what I actually did was I dipped my tail in the chartreuse, because James was fishing a chartreuse bait, and he was getting quite a few bites, and I was getting quite a few bites on that. We were quite successful. We actually culled all of our fish while doing that. How I flip the Creature Hog or do that light vegetation flipping, I use a 7.3 medium heavy rod. I have a 7:2:1 gear ratio reel on here, and then I've actually paired this up with 20-pound fluorocarbon line. Yeah, it just gives me that that versatility to be able to cast it deep and just drag it over a rock pile. The terminal tackle that I use for flipping, I use the Berkley Fusion 919 flipping hooks. I use a 3/8 ounce flipping weight, and then I peg it straight. After those points, we hit another point. We actually saw Tim and Steven, and Tim actually caught a really good fish on a jig, black and blue jig. and he caught a 4.16 kg bass. It was an absolute giant. We did chat a little bit, and apparently they caught it in the salad bowl. So me and James, we made a couple of casts and we literally moved along and we hit the salad bowl. I've never fished all the way in the salad bowl. I've actually just fished outside of it. The salad bowl was so overwhelming. There's so much grass, lily pads, reeds, submerged grass, all that type of stuff. What I actually did was I threw my swim jig, I threw my General. I did some light flipping and then obviously also did some heavy punching. We didn't get any bites. So many things to target. What are the fish going to be hanging on? What's different, you know, and we just couldn't figure that out. Yeah, so we made a couple of casts. We actually fished it for quite a while. We shot upriver and we just stayed outside of the river, and what I realized is that there's a lot of lily pads. So I took up my punching gear again and I started punching that black accent creature hog again, and obviously also that green pumpkin party creature hog. Flipping it, and then I actually got one on that black creature hog, and it wasn't a very big fish, but it was really fun to get a punching bite. The setup that I use is a 7.6 heavy fast action tip rod, and I've actually got it paired up with a 7:1 gear ratio reel. I've got 50-pound braid on here. 50-pound braid is key. You don't want any stretch after you've made that really hard hook set. After doing that for a while, James and myself decided to go into the river. I think we flipped the cover in the river for about an hour to 2 hours, and I was flipping that creature hog. We got very unlucky. We didn't get one single fish out of there. I did have 3 bites, but I don't know if they were, but yeah, we didn't catch any fish. So we shot out of the river and we went back to the main dam. We actually fished a little cove, and then we actually came to the point of where the cove was coming out to the actual main dam, and I was basically flipping shallow, and James decided he would chuck it deep and he would just drag it really slow, and bang, he caught a 1.1 kilo if I'm not mistaken. Really good fish, and yeah, that basically bumped our bag up to 3.34 at that moment in time. Fish, we decided that we would fish a lot deeper, and we made casts a bit deeper. James got another fish on, but it actually came off. I decided that I would just carry on fishing shallow, carry on flipping that shallow vegetation, and I actually caught a micro bass. It wasn't even worth weighing or even putting in the box, so I returned it. James still was carrying on fishing deep. But yeah, after that we actually shot back upriver to give it another shot, because we do know that good fish come out of the river, and we fished that river broken and we still didn't get any more bites. We fished it for another good hour, and then we had about half an hour to 45 minutes left. So we shot back to that same rocky bank that we started off, and we started fishing shallow, started fishing deep, and we just ran out of time and we just had to head back to the ramp. So all in all, the day was actually really fun. We had a good time. James and myself always have a good laugh.
Oh, that's a bit of a bummer. Try to get a quick one at the end there, just hopefully pull out like a quick 2 kilo. But yeah, unfortunately it's not called catching, it's called fishing. I think we got a pretty decent bag. Everyone was saying that they really were struggling today, so we'll see. I think our bag's just over 3 kilos. It's not great, but it was a tough day, so we'll see.
At the end of the day, James and myself, we weighed in 3.34 kgs. Wasn't the greatest bag, but turns out that we actually tied for 9th. So that was a really good result for us. It was our best overall weight that we've ever had at Rest of Winter. I think the winning bag was 7.65 kgs, but all in all it was a good day. Had a lot of fun. I hope that you guys enjoyed this comp video where I gave you guys a little breakdown of what I was using, what baits I was using, and what we kind of were targeting and fishing. Leave comments down below if you guys want to see more of these videos, or if you guys like this style of video. Hit that thumbs up, it helps the algorithm and gets my video to go further. Hit the subscribe button. I also just want to say I appreciate all of you guys for putting comments down below. I know that I haven't been the best responding to the comments. I have been very busy and I just don't always get to it. I'm also appreciative of all you guys that message me on Instagram. I do try and respond to them as quickly as possible. I know I don't always get it right, but I will try and be better with that. But I hope that you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll check you guys on another episode of BWS.